Welcome to the Shiny Minds show with Dr. Shiny. Today, I do have my second guest on my show, Kate O'Connell.
Are you ready to shine? Come on, it's the shiny one. You got this.
She is this song. You know the song "I'm an Englishman in New York"? She's actually the embodiment of it. She's a US lady living in Cambodia. Right, Kate? She's an educational leader, a certified Neuro-Shine Technology coach, ICF accredited coach, and also she is a licensed trainer of Neuro-Shine Technology, and she's actually in the middle of a cohort that she is teaching and training. Kate, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dr. Shiny. I love it.
Love it too. We started out with Matthew last week. We were talking about how we met and how he is actually the first one I ever met in our faculty. And you're actually the last one that I met.
Ah, cool.
So perhaps we can start there. How did we meet?
What a funny story, right?
Yeah, how was that?
It was late on a Sunday and I was job searching, but kind of, and I saw a job that I wanted that was a coach because I was already trained in neuro-linguistic programming and did a coaching course in 2020. So I was like, I saw a job for coaches for professors at Harvard and I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. Wait, oh, you need to be ICF certified. Oh, I better go to that website. Oh, okay, there's a program with neuroscience and positive psychology and quantum physics and metaphysics and all the 10 disciplines were the 10 disciplines of things I love. I'm like, that's my program. And then I remember I emailed you and I said, what do I need to do to get ICF accredited? And I thought it's going to be something easy, right? And so you wrote back. I thought it was a bot just saying, I don't usually take clients on a Sunday, but I have a meeting. I can meet you in like 2 hours. And I'm thinking, can I stay up? Can I stay up till 10? I was like, okay. And then it was you. And then you jumped on a call with me. And I'm like, how do I do this? And you're like, well, I've got a cohort starting Tuesday.
Yeah, that's why we just like talked right away. And then boom, you jumped in.
Yeah.
That's it.
Level 1 and level 2.
Both. That's how we go galactic. That was just like one of those like rare instant cosmic galactic connections,
Yes.
like each other from different lifetimes.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, hello, soulmate, soul tribe.
Yes.
That's how it felt. Just a year later, right? Was it last year?
August.
Oh my God, not even that was August, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, shininess. Yes, that was August of last year. And we're still in May, almost June. Like if we're gonna be airing it in June. So yeah, it's not even a year yet. And then here we are. So the story that you're hearing from Kate, she went from, okay, can I become a coach to, all right, I'm running a cohort. So tell us about your cohort.
The cohort is amazing. And I love teaching. It's everything for me. I'm an educator for 30 years.
Right.
So teaching is like just what I do, right? And I'm passionate about how coaching can change lives because my life has been changed through coaching. And then every time you have a coaching session that's really powerful, which when you become a coach, you see the difference you make in the world. And I'm all about going from your vision to your impact. And in coaching, you see immediate impact. So teaching coaching like makes that go galactic. Like you're seeing people develop into people that can transform others.
Yeah, right.
And watching the sessions. So in the cohort, our participants get to coach each other, right? At the end. And when you see it live, you see somebody making a huge difference, the coach making a huge difference by giving somebody space to be seen, heard, felt. And you just feel that.
Yeah. Mic drop. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other person has a Neuro-Shine moment, a new thinking.
Yeah.
And it expands their awareness. Once you have an awareness, you're changed.
Yes. It's never the same.
Never.
Once you're aware, you can never be unaware.
Yeah.
That's that. Once the mind expands, it never shrinks back. That's
And it doesn't have to be huge. It's not there's I remember a client going, I have choices.
mm, right.
I
Yeah.
have choices.
Wow.
Like that was huge. Somebody felt that they had no choice in life and now they have choices.
Yeah. Wow. What is the price of that, right? What is the price of that feeling for the person? And what is the price of that feeling for you as the coach educator to have that feeling when they feel that,
Yeah, priceless.
right? Yeah.
Priceless.
And that is why I'm super passionate about what I have been doing and then how I have been teaching, transforming lives. And you, Kate, actually have the record in our academy, in our faculty, as you know. You actually went from from being the coaching student to the coach educator within literally 6 7 months. So
Yeah.
you hold that record. That's literally an amazing record. It's just record time. It's unheard of. Unheard of. You were so ready. And that's what I love about you. I just love about your enthusiasm, this vibe that you bring in, always positive. You know, I always say that it's like childlike enthusiasm. You always bring me back to joy and let's have fun. Let's just forget. There are so many problems. Yay. It's
I
almost
think it's
like
30 years of working with kids.
it is what it is, right? Mm.
Yeah.
So I would love to ask you about that. You coming from the background of education, if you were to squeeze all your 30 years of educational background and leadership, being the head of school, doing international schools in international places and countries, right? How would you summarize your whole experience in a sentence or two?
Oh, wow, that's hard.
I know.
Wow. Good question. Good question. Education is essential to changing lives and creating generational change.
Oof. Wow. That's a powerful summary. Education is really, really like essential indeed.
Yeah, because I've lived in countries where their access to education is limited.
Mm, yeah,
And you see a connection between education and poverty and education and chance
right.
and
Mm.
how people value education as a way to make your life better.
Wow. Boom. Mic drop. That's it. And that's why you got so passionate when you came into my world and you loved my Neuro-Shine technology so much. I still, love that about you. And I also now want to ask you, how would you then now describe your biggest takeaway from Neuro-Shine technology as an educational leader?
Stay curious.
Mm.
One of my schools, we did our tagline, hashtag passionately curious, with the International Baccalaureate, who I also do leadership development and workshops. Uh, it's inquiry,
Mm.
education and inquiry,
Right. Yeah.
that juxtaposition.
Mm.
So the power and we just did a Shiny Mind show. We just did mentor coaching last night. If curiosity is missing,
Oh,
the coaching isn't going to happen.
right.
And curiosity plays a role, getting kids to ask questions. When we were young, kids do ask questions,
Right. Yes.
right? And it's
Yeah.
keeping that childlike curiosity about the
Mhm.
world.
Oh, wow. Let's explore. What does that mean? What is this? What is this? How do you do this? How do you do that? Right? It needs to stay the same. But
When we're
unfortunately, as we grow up, we kind of let that curiosity light dim and it gets dark. And it's like, oh, I know things. Oh, actually, no, you don't.
Yeah. And education hasn't worked towards keeping that curiosity for kids. like Sir Ken Robinson, who said, schools kill creativity.
Mm,
Since then, we've been trying to make
right.
sure that curiosity is a
Curiosity.
key outcome of education, and that is a key outcome of Neuro-Shine Technology.
Yeah. As you know, how I define coaching mindset with Neuro-Shine Technology, grateful hearts and curious minds,
Raise
right?
mine.
Yeah, that's that. Like gratitude and curiosity, those are the two must ingredients. That's that. And I have more questions for you,
Yes.
if I may, because you are again in a very special place. Not only you have the record of going from student to teacher, but you actually launched a cohort. What are the differences between regular education versus coaching education?
Oh, that's a great question as well. At first, I what I see is the same, is
Mm.
that good education is good education. And just a little side note, and I'll get back to the question, is that in order to take Neuro-Shine Technology, I watched your YouTube videos for 2 hours because as educator that night, that Sunday night that the story we were telling before,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I got on the call with you. I watched 2 hours to see if you were an educator I could listen to.
Mm.
So there's something about good education that is the same, whether it's education or professional development for adults and Neuro-Shine Technology.
Oh, that's
Like,
good to know. Mm.
but what's different, I feel, is for in Neuro-Shine Technology specifically, there are so many things connected that people aren't familiar with yet. I've trained in neuro-linguistic programming for a long time. A lot of people don't know the power of it.
Right.
They've
Yes.
heard the words, or they know of Tony Robbins, or they know of Richard Bandler. But when you get the power of NLP, neuro linguistic programming,
Right.
and it changes a little bit the way you think about the world.
Right.
So
Mm.
I think what is unique about Neuro-Shine Technology is the way you've cultivated the 10 disciplines that you put together that creates an outcome that when you exit the coaching program, it's not like I'm going to teach you how to coach. Here is step one, ask a good question.
Mm.
It's all this thinking. It's thinking about your language, thinking
Mm.
about your body language,
Mm.
thinking about your tone of voice. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all the aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say sometimes in traditional education, that part gets missed out, where all the bits and pieces are brought together to create a coherent, that's what a coherent curriculum is. That's what
Mm.
it should, but
Yeah.
a lot of times it's missing when like you're bringing a student or a participant through a journey towards an
Mm-hmm.
outcome of understanding, an
Yeah.
outcome of awareness, an outcome of expansion of thought.
Very, very well said. And it actually took me back to my own journey of creating my curriculum. And I must give some credit to UCLA. As
Yeah.
part of being faculty at UCLA, I have gone through rigorous training as an educator. We
Yeah.
we we learned, like I was taught how to create a curriculum. I learned how to do that, right? And like be like I'm an educator myself. Right? So I'm
Yeah.
coming from UCLA Extension. I've been teaching leadership communication strategies. I actually created two separate programs, and I actually created the first online leadership program for UCLA Extension. And that was my initiation. It was 2014 when I offered it. I was like, the world is going online. We need to offer online classes. They were not really into it because, UCLA, especially being in Los Angeles and Westwood and that kind of campus and the vibe, it attracted most of the international students. And it wasn't really very online. But I do remember having gone through all those education, like curriculum creating and putting things together, objectives, outcomes, all that, like you're talking about in the curriculum creation. I got to give some credit to UCLA with my background, right? And the other stuff is my understanding of how do I get this thing? Because we were talking about neuro-linguistic programming, right? How do I get this thing to be more practical? Because I really had a hard time understanding it.
Yeah. And you did an amazing thing. How did you do that?
I mean, Kate, I sometimes bring it during the cohorts when I teach, especially Neuro-Shine Technology principle number 2. Hashtag me, like hashtag communication principle. It
Yeah.
took me years to get it. That one just didn't sync with me because the original NLP presupposition is the meaning of your communication is the response you get. I've been thinking about it, contemplating about like, why is the meaning of my communication is the response you get? I just didn't get it. I didn't get that the response I get would be the meaning. I just didn't get it. I couldn't. And I didn't have anybody in front of me to break it down, to explain it to me, to give me perspective, whatnot. All we had was that page. I turned then into Neuro-Shine Technology Mindset Principles, right?
Yeah.
One day it hit me when I was in Istanbul in a taxi cab. It literally, I remember the day and the time. And then because I'm always in my head, okay, and I'm always thinking about, okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? And then I'm having a conversation with this taxi driver, and I don't remember what happened, but I remember the feeling, okay, it shouldn't be about me. It should be about the other person, how they make the meaning, how they create the meaning.
Yes.
It literally hit me then because I was already dealing with it. And then when he responded to me, I'm like, this man is in a totally different world. Of course, the meaning of my communication is the response I get because the meaning is made by that brain, not mine.
Yeah.
So that's one of yeah, exactly. That's one of the moments that stayed with me. And I always thought about turning knowledge into something practical. Remember, I was also teaching my mom. That was also very helpful. That I needed super practical tools that I could apply right away, and not only for myself and my students and clients, and also for my own mother, because
Yeah.
she was somebody totally different before she started my programs, before she became a student of mine. She was this lady that was completely different than who she is now. That actually is my biggest accomplishment in my life. Gotta
Oh, congratulations. Did all of them come to you just your Neuroshine mindset principles? Did they just come to you like that? Or how did the other ones happen?
That's a good question. The moment I did my first training in Istanbul, that was December of 2011. That was my NLP training. And I had four ladies. I remember I started with four ladies. And I remember teaching them in this way. I was already making my interpretations, but I was not calling it Neuro-Shine technology. To me, I was teaching NLP because that's how I understand it. I'm
Yeah.
understanding, oh, let me teach you NLP. This is wonderful because it is life-changing. It transforms my life. And I'm teaching it in a way, and I am interpreting it, all those, especially the presuppositions, in this way. And then I remember the next year I did the same thing because you know the page. When I give the page to people, the training manual, they're like, what is this? Right? When I broke it down to them, here is how you look at it. When it says the meaning of the communication is the response you get, it is actually telling you that the meaning is created by the other mind. It is not about you. The first time I was teaching that, you know that I love using hashtags. So I was
Yeah.
using hashtag, it's not about you. That was my first hashtag for the communication principle
Wow.
because that's how I get it. Like squeeze it. Squeeze it.
Yeah.
Like, what is the essence of that presupposition, right? It's not about you. Like I would teach it that way because that's how I could make my meaning. And then I realized over the years, the meaning I make about the presuppositions are actually my interpretations. And then that is my own curriculum. That because that's my language, that's my understanding, and everything is so different, especially when I combine it with so many perspectives. When you include communication science over there, it's not part of NLP. It doesn't like NLP doesn't really include all kinds of communication parts. Like, hey, let's talk about tonality. And then here's why your facial expressions are important. Like, according to the communication science, 55% is your body language. Like, it's not a part of it, or it's not a part of NLP to talk about PERMA from
Mm.
positive psychology, right? So when I include all of those things, I realized, hold on, wait a second. This is me. This is how my machinery makes the meaning. And that's how it developed over the years. It took me a while, I must admit, it took me a while to own it. And when I
Mm.
first created Neuro-Shine Technology, do you know what I told to myself?
What?
Who cares? Who cares about Neuro-Shine Technology? Like why will they care? Like why does it matter? And I literally went through that. Who am I to create something and offer it to the world? Why do people care about learning about what I created? Like, who cares? Like, all of those doubts, that we naturally go through, I went through a whole bunch of that.
And how did you overcome that? Was there one thing that you did? I think that's a lot of people in anything, it's imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
Like, why me? Confidence is a thing.
It is a
Or I should say, lack of confidence.
It is, yeah, indeed, Kate. I think it was a process rather than a Nourishine moment.
Ah,
The biggest Neuro-Shine moment I needed was with my English language. It's my second language. And I needed that breakthrough in order to start teaching anything, even at UCLA. I was like, who am I to teach anything? Oh, yes, I was into NLP because I was into brain and science and efficiency. I want to maximize my own potential. I want to do the best anything that I can do in my life. I'm all about excellency, exceptional, as you know. I started everything because I wanted to do it. When it
mhm.
was about sharing with the world, I had to go through all my own limitations, starting with the English language. And I have that Neuro-Shine moment. Do you want to hear
Yeah,
it? Okay.
yeah.
So this is something really exciting because it also includes a very respected author that I loved reading about. And when I was going to Agape is a spiritual church in Los
Yeah.
Angeles, founded by Michael
Michael
Beck.
Beckwith.
Yes, I love that guy. And then I have been with him for so many years because he was literally next door when I lived. And one day I am attending an Agape session, and this author, this gentleman who wrote the book Four Agreements, is giving a speech. He's a Latin American gentleman, and he has a very thick accent, very thick, it's like sticky. And I was having a hard time myself understanding him. And I remember this was about 2011, okay, my very first year or second in LA. And then after he was done, the whole crowd, hundreds of people, they gave him a huge standing ovation. And then that was my Neuro-Shine moment. Oh my goodness. If he can do it, I can certainly do it. I'm getting goosebumps now. It was,
Fantastic.
yeah, it was literally that moment. That is my Neuro-Shine moment. I barely understood him. Obviously, everybody else got him. I mean, if they can understand him, they will certainly understand me. That was my Neuro-Shine moment with my English. After having that breakthrough, it was a process of many, many others that took a process, not like specific Neuro-Shine moments, perhaps several of them. And in time, feeling super uncomfortable putting myself out there. Yes, I'm the creator of Neuro-Shine Technology. I was feeling so tight in my body. I was almost like whispering, yeah, Neuro-Shine Technology, you're going to become a certified Neuro-Shine coach. It was like that, like whispering and kind of like secretly saying like I didn't think that people would want to become a Neuro-Shine Technology coach because I didn't, because I created it And then because it is about me, and then why should the world care? So if anybody, dear Shiny Minds audience, if this is you, we all go through, right? This was me back in 2011, 12, 13, 14. I think in 2015, I kind of claimed it. And then I wrote it in my book. And I said, this is going to be called Neuro-Shine Technology now.
Why did you choose technology? I
Ooh,
think I know, but I think it's a good conversation, right?
it is a good conversation because I am all about technology. First of all, technology represents leveling up. Technology represents, hey, let's go to the next level. Let's improve. Let's make things better. Let's create better processes like iPhone, right? That's a technology. And when you use iPhone technology, you rely on it. So technology, I mean, except for those glitches sometimes we experience, it works all the time. That's what you expect from technology. It just works every single time. My claim and the reasoning behind the term technology is to give people empowerment and responsibility. When you program your mind, you can rely on it. It's going to become your own technology. Yeah, you can have glitches here and there because iPhone even has glitches, right?
Mhm.
It's the same thing. It's technology. It's for you to do things faster, better, more improvised, more improved, more elevated. It's just next level. And we do have our next level within ourselves, in our mind, in our heart, in our soul, in our body. So when we embody all that we teach, when we are aligned with our truth, then it becomes a technology. You can rely on it. It's not going to fail you. That's why.
Ooh.
Boom. That's because it's technology. What do you think about that? Isn't that true?
Yeah, when I think about technology too, I think of it tool. Like
Mhm.
because we teach this to kids.
Yeah.
And also when you're teaching educators, a pencil or a pen is a piece of technology.
Hmm.
So for years I've taken the word technology and brought it down to technology is a tool that we use to get somewhere. So Neuro-Shine Technology to me, the meaning I create is it's a tool to get your neurons to shine.
Yes, exactly. It is what it is, right? It's a technology to get your neurons to shine. Exactly.
And then like if somebody doesn't know because in the course we look at what it looks like in your brain when you have a thought
Hmm.
or when you have a new thought, what's happening? Your
Hmm.
neurons literally shine from the electrical impulses.
Oh, yeah. They are shining brightly. They are just, okay, it's my time to shine. Give me my stage. Your neurons want to shine. That's
Yes.
that. They want to shine. We all have that cosmic light within, starting with our neurons and neurites and all parts of us in our subatomic particles, obviously. And that is the other part of Neuro-Shine technology. Like I obviously started everything with the brain, studying the brain. I read my first NLP book in 2003 and always been into this like neuron part of things. And that's why it all started with me with the neurons. And then that's why I wanted to create something with the neurons. And obviously, shine is the concept that I bring even to my life, changing my name to Shiny, because we have that cosmic light within that I believe. And then that is the metaphysical part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the metaphysical part. Because when I have that core belief, and then I also have like that, the core belief of metaphysics and us being cosmic beings, galactic beings, and having the cosmic light within. That's a core belief. And then neurons starting everything for us. It's the machinery, it's the engine, it's the human engine. That's another core belief. Hey, combine both. That's Neuro-Shine. And of course, it's going to update and upgrade and elevate humanity as a technology. Boom. Yeah, isn't that amazing? And then I am like, it's a wonderful feeling to now see Neuro-Shine technology over 50 countries now. It's amazing.
Wow.
We are in
Yeah.
50 countries, Kate.
That's amazing. And I think you know my goal, but my goal is to have cohorts. I mean, I want anyone in my cohorts, but I would love to have cohorts of educators and educational leaders because I want to make the world, my core belief is that we can be more humane.
Yeah.
And curiosity and using the principles, the mindset principles, make us more humane in our interactions. And
Yeah.
like you say, once you're aware, I don't know if somebody can become unaware. I've never experienced it. I don't want it to happen.
Mm.
So 50 countries, just imagine amplification of educators having the vocabulary. And I also want to get NLP into schools
Oh, yeah.
because there's even strategies in NLP for spelling and strategies for helping children learn.
Yeah, certainly. Especially the part that I am very fascinated about NLP is how Dr. Bandler like put his genius behind the language and how he just like broke down the language patterns. It's genius. I think it's all-time genius. It's so brilliant about the language. You cannot deny that. For any one of you who's watching, if you've never heard about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, or any language patterns that Dr. Richard Bandler created, like you're missing out. Like, right, Kate? Like you
Yeah.
are missing out. Like you're not aware of your language. You just don't know what you're saying.
And that your language communicates patterns and that
Hmm.
your language communicates your mental models.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that if you change your language, you can change your mindset. You can change your experience.
You can change your whole life. Change your language, change your life. And that is where we are. And you mentioned that's your goal to work with educational leaders.
Mhm.
And we also talked about your upcoming cohort with Matthew
Yes.
last
Yes.
week. You do have a cohort that is coming up. Would you like to talk about that?
So the upcoming cohort is in the summer, which is amazing for people in the field of education, because we typically have a break
Mhm.
and then it's the beginning of the school year. But it's 11 weeks of really powerful, packed. The content is packed. What do you always say? It's at the MCC level, which is the master level. It's not just at the basic level. It's
Yeah.
content that really you can start using in your everyday leadership practice. But if you don't even want to go there, just with your own family, your spouse, your children,
Yeah.
like it can help you understand humans differently, you in every aspect of your life.
And that is exactly what I would like us to communicate with everyone who is watching here, because obviously we are passionate. We know what it is. For somebody who has no clue what we're talking about, what we are offering, what we are teaching, what would you say, Kate? Because you went through the program yourself. What would you say that they need to focus on? Why they need to go through this program?
Well, anyone wanting to be a better human, it helps you be a better human. And it's like part of we don't come with user manuals,
Yeah.
handbooks. Our minds do not come with handbooks.
Yeah.
How do you navigate your mind? Think about, I don't know how much of a $1 billion industry, like motivational speakers, and you think of people who are just teaching mindset. They are paid a lot of money.
Hmm.
This is a mindset shifting program. Like I know some people think at the beginning they're taking it just for themselves and not even wanting to become a coach. But
Yeah.
hopefully they all will become a coach because it'll change the world. What do you think? How would you distill it?
What I hear from graduates, I mean, including you, what I hear is people show up to this program because they think, okay, I want to become a coach. They go through the program, they show up, okay, I'm gonna learn some coaching skills, never expecting how deep of a transformation that they would experience themselves as a human. That's that. That's what I keep hearing. I mean, if I could just like put it in a box and share what it is, That's what I could tell, because it can mean anything to anyone, what kind of transformation that you need in this moment of your life, because every stage is different. That's going to show up. You're going to meet your full self. You are
Mm,
going to get intimate with yourself. You're going to put a light on all kinds of thoughts and your patterns if you want to fix people, if you're trying to do too much for other people under the name of trying to help, whereas it's actually feeding a certain need of not feeling good enough. You're
yeah.
going to get to know how you kind of like try to control a little bit too much instead of allowing people to tap into their own power. You're going to realize that you might also have a lot of judgments that you are absolutely unaware of. And you might believe, you might think that, oh, I'm a great person, I don't judge. Mm, let's just go through the program. Let's go through the program and let's just like put a light on everything. So the light, the enlightenment, the neurons shine. The light is gonna put the lights on places that you have never put the lights on. Those are called blind spots. Those are
Yeah.
called, you are unaware. You have never thought about it. You've never looked at yourself from that angle. You've never realized that what you are saying with the best intentions in the world is actually damaging the other person. You're totally
Mhm.
unaware. And that's where the light is going to come up. And when we turn the lights on, neurons going to shine and you're gonna get to know yourself. You're going to get intimate with yourself. And that's actually what I can tell. It's a lot of accepting who you really are as a whole and transforming what doesn't serve you anymore.
By becoming aware.
Mhm. The awareness and willingness formula is the simplest, the most simplistic way of creating change and transformation.
And what I love is it's not just consuming content, because I think we all do, have done a lot of online course, at least in education. You tend to like want to consume a lot. You want
Mhm.
to be better by consuming
Right,
more
right.
content, getting more information. You'll be a better person, a better teacher, a better leader if you have this tool, if you know this, if you had this course. And we collect courses under our belts, right?
Mhm.
But inside the program, you're also coaching others, doing reciprocal coaching in the live sessions, the synchronous sessions.
Mhm.
And practicing is and applying is another learning beyond just doing a course where you're sitting in front of somebody that's talking. You're getting to practice, and with the mentor coaching, you're getting feedback on that practice.
Right.
So it's a lab.
It is a lab. Yes, that's the language I use. It's our lab. It's our laboratory. That's true. You learn from each other. It's practice. It's hands-on, but virtual hands-on.
And while you're practicing, you're also giving other people the space to practice their coaching skills, and you're showing up with your things. And so you're constantly like a piece of coal refining into a diamond, like you're getting to the opportunity to transform into a better human, not just by learning, but by being coached.
That's a hidden benefit that we also need to talk about. You get free coaching throughout the
Yeah.
entire program, even after the program ends, because you have the entire Shiny Minds community in 50 countries after you graduate. And like once you collaborate with each other, once you have somebody that you click with, you're gonna have that person coaching you, and then you will be coaching them if you like an entire life. But inside the program, for sure, you're getting free coaching because it is actually required. Hidden benefits all the way. And I have one more question for you. With the Academy of Neuro-Shine Technology and the students that we have, and the programs that we have, and the mission that we have, it is an entity. It's something that we co-create. What excites you the most about this entity that we co-create?
I think we're expanding and we're learning and we're growing. And just you and I, we've learned so much just creating the cohorts and executing the cohorts and learning, like taking the principles. Like we know that we need to be clear. We know that we need to have agreements.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that continual practicing and refining. And I think that there's expansion is the word. It's like expansion of Neuro-Shine technology, expansion of coaching. Coaching can help people. I'll never forget when my neighbor came to me and said, Kate, I think that you should become a coach. I think you really love coaching. This is 2019. And I would say that to everyone. Like it is a skill. I could imagine the future where because of AI, this personal contact is super rare and valuable
True. Yeah.
to work one-on-one with a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, the future I see is increasing our humanity. And we've been expected to be like machines, and now we have machines. The machines can be the machines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We can be the people.
Yes. Yeah.
We can be the people. So
Oh,
let's be people together.
exactly. Let's become the delicious humans that we are meant to be.
30 years of education, I know a lot. And when people can't grow inside something, it if something isn't growing, it's
Entropy.
dying.
Yeah,
And
it's entropy. Yeah. Mm.
right. And so with Neuro-Shine technology, like with Compass Education or being an IB educator, you're like, what's the next level?
Mm.
How
Yeah.
do I grow in this? And so to be able that to just be a Neuro-Shine technology coach, I mean, for me, that's what attracted me. Like, not the in our first conversation, you were like, Kate, do you think you could teach this? I'm like, I can teach anything. Maybe overconfident, but like give me a pen, a marker, a whiteboard, a computer.
Right.
Let
Yeah.
me know the content. I'll break it down. I can teach
Wow.
it. So
Oh, yeah.
I think, and not about me, but about people, like it's expanding the ability to grow as a coach. You not only just be a coach, but you can be a coach educator. And
Right.
then, I see the future, like then you could be a mentor to new coaches, or there's possibilities to grow that we are co-creating like we did in Miami.
Yes.
How do we want this to look? What
Yeah.
do we want this to look like?
This is such a delicious conversation. And I want to send you this heart.
I
This
mean,
heart, because this is exactly what excites me too. And then I want to send you another one. There we go. So this is the co-creation. This is the deliciousness part. And I want everybody to hear this. This is possible. We just met online with Kate. I did not know anybody named Kate before last August. Okay. Before last August, she was not in my life. I was not in her life. And now, fast forward in May of 2025, we are co creating a big mission, an entity, an academy, and then we are expanding the mission. We are going galactic with what we want to do in our life, in our purpose and impact and vision. We are disrupting the coaching education industry, aren't we, Kate?
we are. Yes, that's my thing. I love disrupting and
Yeah,
innovation.
we are doing that. And we are bringing back the humanity by including technology, high tech. Like we have the innovative
Science.
library, the community, the shiny AI and the and Neuro-Shine Technology app. Like all the technology is there so that we can go back to who we really are as delicious human beings. So our core belief is like back to humanity. That's it, right?
Back to humanity.
I think that's a mic drop moment right now. Hashtag back to humanity. That's it. Do you have any other parting thoughts, messages to share with the audience?
I'm just sitting here with a ton of goosebumps,
Ah,
feeling super grateful.
mm,
Grateful that I took a chance and invested in myself. That's a really hard thing for people to do.
Yeah.
Invested in myself and thought, I'm worth taking this chance and making this shift. And I think there is something to valuing yourself. And I say that not because I want people to value themselves
Right. Yeah.
and to invest and to grow and to expand. I don't know. My mind is a lot in the future right now. What is the future going to look like? What is it going to be? And I want to give people hope in humanity,
Hope
and
and
hope in humanity.
hope in humanity by investing in yourself. Invest in yourself. That's a great message. That's a great, beautiful parting message. Invest in yourself, everyone. Dear shiny minds to be. Because this show is called the Shiny Minds Show.
Yes.
Always inviting people to be shiny minds. Hey, have your grateful heart and your curious mind, join us, and then let's just make this world a better place together. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is our invitation to you. And obviously, like and share this episode with whoever you think that they need to hear, right? So some people need to hear these type of things. And so please share with them, and obviously subscribe for more conversations like this. And let's just make this world a better place together with more love and shiny minds, as I say. Thank you, Kate, for your amazing presence. And until next time, keep shining your light, dear shiny minds. Bye-bye.
Go galactic.
Go galactic. Go galactic.
Then you're in the right place. Let's go, let's go.